Good news for Switch owners, Nintendo is going to fix your Joy-Con drift problems for free. Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. Essentially, just a little bit of background about this. Nintendo is currently being sued because of their Joy-Con drift problem, and a lot of people were signing up to be a part of that suit. However, Nintendo released a response a few days ago. What they said, and this is according to Verge, Nintendo made a statement saying, "We take great pride in creating quality products and we are continuously making improvements to them. We are aware of recent reports that some Joy-Con controllers are not responding correctly. We want our consumers to have fun with Nintendo Switch, and if anything falls short of this goal, we encourage them to visit support.nintendo.com so we can help." However, in the last few days, they have released a better statement, and this is according to Vice. Vice received an internal memo from Nintendo that says that they will be fixing Joy-Cons for free regardless of the status of the warranty that you have or anything like that. It also says that you don't need to provide proof of purchase for the Joy-Con repairs, which is wonderful. You can just buy a Joy-Con that is used. You can still send that into Nintendo if it's not working properly. And even better, if you have received some sort of repair for your Joy-Con, they're going to pay a refund for that from Nintendo. So this is exactly how Nintendo should be handling this situation. Please comment below if you have any problems with your Joy-Cons, particularly the left Joy-Con. I can say that my Joy-Cons have not really given me an issue yet. I have had one that my one friend, my cousin actually, Colin, he was just saying, I feel like the left Joy-Con is drifting a little bit, and I think that was with a particular one of my Joy-Cons, but not all of them. So comment below if this is a problem that you've been having in the past, and I will, like I said, put the link in the description below where you can send in your Joy-Con to Nintendo. I don't know how long it's going to take. This brings me to my next point about the Joy-Cons on the Nintendo Switch Lite. Now, the Nintendo Switch Lite doesn't actually have Joy-Cons. They are permanently mounted to the system, but I had apprehensions about buying that system because if there is some Joy-Con drift, and now it's actually attached to the system, I can't remove that Joy-Con and replace it with another one and keep gaming. It's going to constantly have that problem, and I know other people had their reservations about buying a Nintendo Switch Lite for that reason as well. So I'm curious in the future, is Nintendo going to talk about, or are they going to accept in your Nintendo Switch Lite if it has problems and fix that free of charge? I assume they will, but those systems have already been in manufacturing. I don't think they can change them at this point. They're going to be released as is. I might refrain from getting one at launch when it comes out in a few months. I believe it's coming out on September the 20th for that new Joy-Cons, not the new Joy-Con, but for the Nintendo Switch Lite system. It's going to be $200. It's going to come in 3 colors, by the way. Yellow, gray, turquoise. I'm going to go after the Pokemon edition when it does come out. Next point, there are some new Joy-Con colors. So we have like neon red, neon yellow, neon green, neon blue, but Nintendo announced that you're also going to be able to buy a 2-pack of neon purple and neon orange and blue with neon yellow. The neon purple and neon orange, I think I'm going to get at some point. I love the color scheme behind Nintendo systems. This kind of dates back to the Game Boy colors and also the Nintendo 64s that you see back here. Then GameCube had a different color scheme, Wii had a different color scheme, and this one's all about the neon colors. So I think I'll get the purple one and the orange, but the neon yellow and blue, not that much of an interest to me. I already have the neon yellow right, and the left one would just be a darker blue than this one. And I think there was the Mario Reds that came out a little while that I don't have either, but I might want to get the colored neon ones. So that's another cool thing about the Joy-Cons that are hopefully coming out. Next up, we have Nintendo announcing that there's going to be a new version of the Switch system that's going to just be the normal system and their normal release, and it's not going to change price point, but what it is going to change is the battery life. Normally, this original launch Nintendo Switch system is about 2.5 to 6.5 hours of battery life in handheld mode. In Breath of the Wild, you usually get about 3 hours. What Nintendo's doing is they're updating this base system at the same price, but it's going to have anywhere between 4.5 to 9 hours of battery life. If you're playing Breath of the Wild, it's probably going to be something more like 5.5 hours of gameplay, which is way up from 3 hours of gameplay. This is great news, especially at the same price point. I would have liked to see them drop the price of this original system, but they can't really drop it considering the Switch is going to be $200. What they did do is upgrade the internal components of that, and I think that's good news. What you're not going to see is this box any longer. As of a few months from now, it's going to be more of the Nintendo Red, not just on the top, but on the front part of the box. So just make sure you're buying the right version. If you're interested in getting a Nintendo Switch, hold off for a few more months, which I normally don't say, of course, and get the new version that's going to come out with way more red on the front box, and that means you're going to get a better battery life system. So one of my buddies, he's actually going to get a Switch hopefully this year, and he's waiting out for that system. My last point is that I'm wondering what our thoughts are on the new system and the fact that it's going to be the Lite is exclusively in handheld mode. Is this the death of the Nintendo 3DS and the Nintendo 2DS lines of systems? Nintendo hasn't really been focusing on games for these systems for a little while. They've moved everything to the Nintendo Switch, which makes perfect sense. Put all your eggs in one basket and do really well on one system rather than try and support the 3DS and the Nintendo Switch, especially when they're both handheld systems kind of per se, with the Nintendo Switch Lite coming out. Now, I think this 3DS has kind of been dead in terms of games for a little while. It's been out for over 8 years. It had an insanely good run with some of the best games all time. My opinion, this is the best handheld system that I've ever played, and I think it makes sense that they're porting everything over. Nintendo's not going to say that we're dropping all support for the 3DS and that the 3DS is dead. Of course, they're not going to say that, but essentially, yes, it is. The Nintendo Switch Lite will take over from that and get all of the market share for Nintendo for handhelds and everything. So please comment below. What are your thoughts on the Joy-Con drift issues? Have you had any issues yourself? Have you bought the original Switch at launch or any of the colors and had issues? And are you going to send them in to Nintendo? If you want to send yours in, you can contact Nintendo at that link that I said will be in the description below the video. And also please comment below, what are your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch Lite? I might get that Pokemon edition, but I'm a little apprehensive about getting the launch version unless they fix that Joy-Con drift issue. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. We're so close to hitting 100,000 subscribers. We're just over 5,000 subscribers away. At that point, there will be a face reveal. I'm also planning to do a Mario-thon at some point in the next few months. The original idea was August the 2nd for Mario-thon, but I don't think that will happen with my internet issues. It's likely then going to happen in October. If you don't know what my Mario-thon is, you can check it out on my channel here. And lastly, feel free to follow me on Instagram as well. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming. Thanks for watching, everyone.